We're here with the legendary Coach Bob Knight. And Coach, you're speaking with Gene Keady tonight. You've done a handful of these events with him over the last year. What is it about Coach Keady and your relationship that's kind of allowed this to blossom, I guess, that you are doing events like that?
We had a respect of his team and the way they played, and I think he felt the same way about our team. And I really enjoyed watching his team play and the way he coached, and I think that we just became friends. Although we tried to beat each other every time we played, it wasn't too long before we were very good friends.
You've come to Fort Wayne a number of times now. What is it about Fort Wayne? And when we talked on the phone yesterday, you said Fort Wayne's always been a special place in your heart for you.
Well, I really enjoyed Fort Wayne. I've had a couple of people. There was a guy named Jim Snyder that was an Air Force pilot that became a very close friend of mine, and then Bob Strait's not too far from here, and they were two very close friends. And there were other people like that in Fort Wayne. I always really enjoyed the Matt Anthony tournament. I got to meet Byron Nelson at the Matt Anthony one year and ended up playing with him a couple of times there, and wound up our being very close friends, and he's one of my all-time favorite people. So there have been a lot of nice things happen to me here in Fort Wayne. And I think beyond that, I think both Gene Keady and I would like to say thanks to coaches all around the state, because Indiana is a great basketball state, and one where coaches have worked hard and produced a lot of good players for either Purdue or for Indiana. And our teams, both of our teams, profited greatly by the kind of players that coaches in this state produced.
More recently, we've seen you last year kind of throw your hat in the political ring, campaigning for Donald Trump. What's your assessment of the president's job now that we're 100+ days in? And also, what led you to get involved in the political realm?
Well, let's just start from what do we need? We need a guy that's smart, we need a guy that's tough, and we need a guy that's not full of baloney. And he is at the top of the list in all three of those categories. If I were him right now, I'd get rid of the Republicans, because he saved them. There wouldn't be any Republican Party if it wasn't for Donald Trump right now. And yet there are 5 or 6 of them that vote against things that he wants to do. So they ought to be lucky they have him instead of me, because I'd get rid of those guys in a heartbeat. But I think he's exactly what we need. I think when it's all said and done, that we are going to appreciate how hard the guy works. You know, just as a little thing, he's called me a couple of times after I introduced him around the country and so forth, but he didn't do it on government money. He did it on his own phone from his office back in New York. I mean, now how many presidents have we ever had that have done that? And in this last 8 years, we've had the debacle with the 4 kids that got killed over there, and then the money that Hillary took from foreign countries, and the Obamacare that cost us a ton of money, and now he's trying to straighten all that stuff out. And it really irritates me about somebody gets upset because he's loud or he talks to, you know, hey, the guy is a gold mine for us as American citizens, believe me. And he is going to work as hard or harder than any president we've ever had for the entire population. Whites, blacks, here, there, it doesn't go make any difference to him, but he is going to work harder than anybody we've ever seen in a long time. And when I introduced him, I said that the guy who ever takes over as president is going to have a lot of problems. And if you look at Trump's career, he's had problems, but he's solved them all. He's found a different way to do this or a different way to do that. He's corrected mistakes, and I just don't think that we have anybody even capable of bringing to the table what he does.
Getting back to basketball, when you take a look at the game of basketball, where do you see it going in the future? And also, what are you up to in regards to the game of basketball?
Well, I don't have a whole lot to do with it anymore. I enjoy watching teams play with maybe a coach that I had as a player or something like that. But I think that of all the games, you know, I played everything. I played baseball and football and basketball in high school, but I think I would always, if I could only have done one thing, it would have been to have played basketball. Maybe it was because, you know, I was pretty well adjusted to it and I liked it. And I think that we've seen a lot of good basketball. I think basketball has really improved going back a long ways. And now we have an awful lot of kids playing who are pretty good.
Final question, Loy Ball from Woodland. I know you recruited him as a player back in the day. What do you remember about him? Because everybody talks around here about how much you guys wanted him. What do you remember, if anything, about him as a player?
You know, I don't.
Well, that's not a good sign.
No. What was his name?
Loy Ball. He played professional volleyball, four-time Olympian.
You know, let's back that one off because I really don't know.
Okay. Can I get one more question in?
Yeah, sure. You can ask all the questions you want, but we better answer them if I know what the hell I'm talking about.
I got you. Final question for me then. As far as you go, what do you see your legacy being here in the state of Indiana?
You know, I'd never worried about that. I'm not even sure what a legacy is. One of the reasons why I came here this evening is just to thank the people, not just in the Fort Wayne area, but to thank the people in Indiana about all they did for the game of basketball, the kids that they produced and the kids that they encouraged to play, and the support that the Indiana people, the fans, gave to their favorite team, whether it be Purdue or Indiana or Butler or whomever it might be. And I think that enabled the kids that came here, whether they were from out of state or from Indiana, really got a great opportunity to play before great crowds. And I think along with that, you know, we were, as coaches, both Gene and I, in an area, part of the country where we had a lot of good basketball players. And that's something that I will always really appreciate, is the coaching job that people like the two I mentioned have done over all these years.
Anything else you'd like to add, Coach?
Well, I don't know. You're the guy that's supposed to be answering questions or asking questions.
I thought I had some good ones in there.
Well, no, you did, but ask some more if you want to.
All right. As far as just the overall game of basketball, I know you're not a big NBA fan, but LeBron James, is he the best guy you've ever seen?
No. The best guy that ever played the game is Michael Jordan. Don't even think about anybody else.
Not even close?
Not even close.
Why is that?
Because he was just better than anybody. He was smarter. He was tougher. He won more. Although there are two things about when you talk about players. You talk about the best player and you talk about the most valuable player. Without any thought that the best player was Michael Jordan. The most valuable player was Bill Russell, because nobody in any sport won what Bill Russell did with the Celtics. And the smartest man in basketball ever was Red Auerbach, because he was able to do things that other people would never have thought of. We've mentioned three people here, and you asked me about what I got out of basketball. Well, first of all, having Michael play on our Olympic team was great, and I thoroughly enjoyed having the opportunity to work with him on a team. And then the same thing would be true in a lot of other circumstances with coaches or people or whomever. And I feel the same way about Bill Russell, what he did for basketball. And as I said, I got to know Red Auerbach and became very close to Red. So basketball has been very, very big for me in terms of allowing me to do things that I like to do, and what I got out of it, and the people that I met from it are like treasures that you very seldom run across.
Are you aware people are pretty intimidated by you even still?
Well, that's their fault. You know, if anybody's intimidated, I don't know that I've ever failed to say hello or how are you or thank you. I don't know why. I mean, if you were intimidated by me, you shouldn't be talking to me today.
When you take a look at guys like Mike Krzyzewski and the number of guys that you've had impact on and see their careers and the way they've helped develop the game of basketball, how do you look at that? I mean, with pride?
It isn't just one or two guys. I have a great feeling for all of the kids that I was able to coach. And I take, of all the kids that I've coached over the years, I want to start with Buckner and May. And I had the great good fortune at the three places basically that I coached to have really good kids and kids that played well, and I was always pleased at what they did, whether they went into coaching as some of them did or not, but always enjoyed hearing about a player that had done this in that particular circumstance, or another kid had done something else, or he was working here or working there. It always pleased me at the success that I hope kids had that I had the opportunity to coach.
All right. I think we're good. And I will ask again, anything you'd like to add or talk about?
No, if you got anything to ask, ask.
I think we're good. I appreciate it very much.